those pages. It's sci-fi or fantasy, whatever genre you please. Join a book club, 'cause you won't read it on your own. Join a book club, so you'll be held accountable. It's just a means to an end, but you're doing it with your friends. So join the book club by DLC.
Hello there, book clubbers. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're dancing. I was doing a little funky chicken there this time. You know, trying to mix it up. I'm Jeff Cannata. I'm here with Lana Bachynski. Hi, Lana.
Hello. Good morning.
Good.
Ooh.
Good morning. Hey, we got 2 more chapters for you from the Crippled God. Things are getting crazy. Crazy. Deaths. Dragons. Knives. It's a wild time in the Crippled God, and we're going to get to all of it. But we like to start the show with a non-spoiler topic so that you can hang out, even if you're not caught all the way up with us on the reading. And in the best circumstances, those are sent in by you to dlcfeedback@gmail.com. Please continue to do so. It's wonderful when you send in the topics. This one comes in from Cory. Sent from Cory's iPhone, noted here in the email.
Whoa, brag
thanks,
much, Cory.
Appreciate it. Cory's awesome. Cory said, it's been a highlight of my week getting to watch your take on these chapters for the last year and a half. And the interviews with Steve have been so special too. I appreciate your opinions, views, and cheerfulness. Cory goes on to say, my dad once read a book called A Walk Through the Woods. It was a humorous book about hiking through the Appalachian Mountains. He told my mom how lighthearted and funny it was. So she stopped by the library, but accidentally grabbed a copy of A Walk to Remember. She spent the first half of it waiting for the fun lightheartedness to begin. We found her sobbing in the garage when she came home finishing the book. She managed to say, that wasn't a funny book, through tears. Long story short, have you ever received a wildly inaccurate recommendation for a piece of media that skewed how you consumed it? Thanks again for this wonderful book club, Cory. Oh, I feel sad for your mom. That's a bummer. That's a real bummer.
But A Walk to Remember is like a great story. So it's like
you go.
you know, it's touching, but it is, you know, what a gift. Just not the gift you thought it was gonna be, you know.
What a I think that I like how you put that, Lana, because that it is a vote of confidence for that novel that, you know, not at all what you wanted, but she stuck it out to the end. Like that means that book was pretty good. Captivator. She's like, this isn't what I wanted, but it's really good. I think that's awesome.
Stuck it out till the end, felt real feelings about it. Yeah. Have I ever received an inaccurate assessment of a piece of media? I feel like the biggest way in which I get inaccurate recommendations on pieces of media, it's when people approach with extreme confidence in telling me how much I will love the piece of media. That is probably the best way.
Yeah.
That or like the most often. I don't think I've ever had somebody describe something totally differently, and then I experience it, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
But I have had several times with one really poignantly in particular that I think of all the time. I'm haunted by when this one movie was coming out that everybody was like, oh my gosh, you haven't seen it yet? You, Lana, have not seen this movie yet? You, more than anybody else that I've ever known on the face of the earth, will love this movie. And I went to go see it, and I was really insulted. And it's no judgment to anybody who does love this movie, but the movie is Frozen, and I hate
Frozen. Disney's Frozen.
I cannot stand that film. It drives
Lana
me crazy.
Is incapable of letting it go.
Wow. No. See, and the fact that that's baked into the experience just sharpens it that much more. I'm an animator. That's like my core job as an artist, when I'm not podcasting. And so you're in animation school and there's new animated movies. So there's like a lot of things that I get, but I don't just love every movie that's been animated. I love good stories and I love compelling characters and I care about the dialogue and how it's delivered. That story is nonsensical, incomprehensible, spoilers for Frozen, just like so many dumb asides that just don't make any sense to the point of like,
take that, Hans Christian Andersen.
Do people think I'm an idiot? It like made me so, and not that anybody who likes it is an idiot. People can like things and not care, but it tilts me. So that's probably the biggest one, and I feel normal about it. So thanks for the question.
It's so funny to me that of all the things you have white hot rage toward, it's innocuous little Frozen. It's little Frozen over there who's just delighting children across the globe.
And their sing-song voices in the streets terrorize me. The snowman IMO sucks. All of the lyrics have these little anachronisms in it that just really bother me regionally. Like the lyrics are so cute. And I know that's supposed to be like the point of one of the songs, but they're saying words like, ooh, am I in that zone? And I'm like, I feel like they wouldn't know what a zone is. Did they have the concept of zones when this was written? It doesn't matter, but it bothers me. And then that one child who like fell off the back of the dog sled at the beginning of the movie was just kidnapped by the trolls, and everybody's fine with that. Nobody blinks an eye. They have a whole scene aside where they're like, these two are gonna get married. Thanks for bringing her home, son. And they're like, what? No. And they're like, huh? And then they just move on. Like I will talk this entire time about this.
Welcome to our Frozen podcast.
Anyway, Jeff Canada, anybody give you a recommendation that you disagreed with?
I can't compete with that. That's amazing. I can't compete with that. I will say this. If you're looking for an awesome animated movie, In Your Dreams on Netflix, new animated Netflix animation movie, one of my favorite 3D animated movies of all time.
Okay.
I'm saying it. It's incredible. So funny, charming, lovely, beautiful. Made me weep. Awesome movie. Great movie. Also, Sea Beast. Great. Netflix Animation Studios doing a good job.
Yeah.
So here's a topic about recommending things, and then I do.
So tell us if
if
it's accurate.
Yeah, tell us exactly. I can't think of a moment like this. I want to say that this is something analogous has happened to me, but I can't. I mean, I definitely have had the experience you're talking about of somebody being like, Jeff, this movie is perfect for you. And you watch it and you're like, or a TV show or whatever. With books, it's so funny. I'm famous on my my movie and TV show podcast of staying completely spoiler free. Like, I don't want to know anything about a movie before I go into it. I don't want to know anything about a TV show before I go into it. Just tell me it's good. I will go watch it and then I will decide for myself. But I love the experience of the movie unfolding and before me without knowing anything from the trailers, not having any images or sounds. I loved it. My favorite thing. But with books, I feel like the time commitment, because I'm such a slow reader, the time commitment is so much greater that I want to know for sure that it's worthwhile. And so we've talked numerous times on this podcast about my weird, incessant, research. And I'm not researching plot details or anything like that, but I want to know that I'm going to like this thing. And I got to tell you, Lana, I mean, this isn't exactly the topic we're talking about, but I recently finished an audiobook. I talked a little bit about, listening to The Warlord King by Bernard Cornwell, which is a great audiobook. Finished that. And so I was like, I have all these credits on Audible, and it takes me like 3 or 4 credits to find the book that I'm actually going to listen to all the way through. I'm so bad. I'm like, I've listened to a third of like 5 books on my, and I'm just like, I'm out. No, because I'm not going to spend the 18 to 30 hours of an audiobook if I'm not loving it. I really am not. It's so frustrating to me that like I will research, and then I'm like, okay, I'm spending my credit. I'm spending my Audible credit on this audiobook, and invariably 10 minutes in, I'm like, yes, I picked the right one. Yes, I did it. And then 3 hours in, I'm like, ruh-roh. I'm not into this. Not into this.
That's the point where
it's losing me.
The sinister animal part of my brain turns on, being like, "Ooh, I can't wait to tell somebody all the things I don't like about this." It's part of my joy. Man, you gotta just be meaner.
But I'm like, I have precious few hours. Like I listen to audiobooks when I'm running or when I'm in the car between pickups and drop-offs of my children, which are nonstop. And I feel like that time is precious. I want to use it on, and there's so many books I want to read, but then I'll start one and I'll be like, yeah, this is the one. This is it. I'm loving it. And then 6 hours, 8 hours in, I'm like, there's like 3 other books that I could have gotten that maybe would be better than this one. It's losing. The writing isn't great. I'm not really, it's kind of, yeah. So but I've just started one that I'm like, again, like the first hour, I'm like, yeah, I finally nailed it.
Can't wait for next week's check-in on hour 3. See what's up.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you, Cory, for sending that in to us. If you'd like to send a topic, DLC feedback at gmail.com. All right. Spoilers starting now for chapter 19 and 20. My gosh, there's only 24 chapters, Lana.
I know.
What's happening?
I want to go check my percentage on the
I think we're at like 60 something, 66%. We're 2/3 of the way.
66%, 2/3 of the way in total book. So funny. Yeah.
I mean, these chapters are awesome, but if I had just blindly not known how many books were in the series, I don't think I would think this is the final book at this point.
I know.
All right. We start with Withal, who's decided he needs to join in with the fight at the shore at Lightfall because, hey, we're all going to die anyway. You know, why not join in with the fight, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
And he has found some non-Indian armor.
Mm-hmm.
He was, I guess he was, exploring the basements as one does in a new castle. Hey, it's a new castle. My wife's the queen. Let's go look in the basement and see what we find.
Oh, my wife, she seems to have dipped into a manic episode. I'm going to just BRB. Just need a breather.
Yeah, I'm just going to see where this door leads. And he found some armor, so he's putting it on. And then, he's like, hey, honey, maybe we could leave. You don't have to sit here on this throne. The throne doesn't have chains.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, but does it though? It does. I think
None
it
that
does.
You can see, buddy boy.
That's right.
Their relationship, is always a little contentious, right? So if she crawled out of the primordial goop in that lake.
Yeah. She's a hard woman to love, I will say. Maybe, perhaps, she's a bit persnickety and also has a lot of responsibilities on her shoulders,
Yeah.
But yeah, he's doing a good job and he's willing to die for her cause. And she's like, fine, leave then.
Like everybody else.
That's right. It's a sad kind of moment.
It is.
And I thought, dude, this is where he's going to die and she's never going to see him again. And it's going to be this awful thing. Because people are dropping like flies.
Mm-hmm.
But even more interesting, after he does leave, she begins the series of flashback vision moments. And I am just floored by the manner in which Erikson communicates this. It is such a fascinating cinematic where she's on the throne and she sees Spinach Drav come into the throne room, recognizes that it's this kind of vision, this dream she can see through him. And I guess Rake walks in too, but sits on the throne where she is sitting, and she feels his voice come out of the back of the seat through her head.
Yeah.
Like the ghost of him is sitting in the same seat she's sitting in. It's just an audacious framing for this moment. And I loved it. Like, what a complicated thing to have to communicate to a reader.
And yet I can picture it in my head. Yeah.
What's that?
And yet I can picture it in my head.
Yes.
The way she's sitting there, the way that, he describes her being like, oh, I picked up my arm. Well, that's not my arm, but it's reaching towards my head. I'm thinking. She's like, she's hearing the dialogue and filling in the subtext and both experiencing and simply perceiving these moments happening around her simultaneously.
Through her. Like she's and I could totally...
It's like being in a hologram. Yes.
She's sitting in the hologram and it is speaking and she's inside it and she hears it coming out of her. And so the person addressing the hologram is as if they are addressing her on the throne. And it's got layers of meaning as far as her interpretation of being chained to that throne and having to sit there, but understanding Anamander Rake's experience of sitting on that throne. She's literally inside it. Such a cool framing. It's such a and complex and sophisticated and hard to, like, it's a tightrope walk of completely alienating the reader. Yeah. And yet he pulls it off. It's really impressive.
Yeah. And then, like you were, your hand gestures started alluding to, how even more complexity gets layered into that whole thing in a bit. It's just, very...
We will get to it, but
cool.
it gets even crazier and more off-putting potentially off-putting to the reader. And yet, it's all clear. It's impressive writing. But we pop out... anyway, the vision she sees is the first meeting between, or one of the first meetings between Rake and Spinach, where he's like, I should know your name. I really should. Which is wild because later we see how close they get. It's cool.
Yeah.
Or not later, but earlier in the novel, we see later that they were very close.
And even just the interest, like we see it in some of these scenes, through Sandaleth's eyes, but Spinach being like a jovial little guy.
Yeah.
Being like,
yeah,
how he used to be. Cool.
Yeah. And that's literally all that mirth is stolen from him, literally in these moments. It's wild. Okay, so then we pop out to Withal, who has arrived at the shore to see just this horror unfolding there. These piles of bodies. It's the way it's described is incredible. I mean, him like leaving divots on bodies as he's walking through them. It's just,
and there's like the number of them, and like how like so many, but how many fewer on their side compared to like Jan Tovis, the how many people he's personally cutting through with that blade.
You mean Eden Derrick?
Yeah, sorry, Eden Derrick.
Yeah. And just recognizing that neither side is going to surrender. This is going to be the end of both sides. They're just going to keep dying and dying until they're wiped out. But he sort of can't even control himself. He's gonna walk headlong into that horror himself.
There's sort of a recurring thing in a way that I think is very real, but that idea of being like, I can't possibly do this, and then somebody latching onto like something at the core of them that compels them forward. Being like, I can't do this, but I have to do this. I have to do this. And then just doing the thing they need to do, continuing to power forward, continuing to walk, continuing to fight, like whatever it is. There's, especially in these chapters, there's little mantras almost that people sort of are clinging to as they sort of continue on whatever they feel is impossible to do. It's interesting. Little
I agree.
echoes.
Yeah, for sure. Then we're inside Yontovis's perspective. She's watching her brother not give an inch. All the fighters on this side of Lightfall not giving an inch, just slaughtering as the Leosin continue to pour through. And seeing her brother almost, this is another example of what you were just talking about, sort of compelled almost at this point by the sword itself. Like he is past the point of breaking, and the sword is sort of moving on its own in his hand, and he's fighting, continuing to mow down all these arriving soldiers.
And I think this is where she is like looking at that and being like, this would have been over already if I just knelt. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, why didn't I just kneel? Oh,
my
wow.
own pride made it so that I couldn't kneel. And she's like, as soon as there's another opportunity, I'm throwing myself. Nobody, people are going to be stunned by how fast I kneel the next time.
You know what? That's my bad. That's on me.
Piles and piles of bodies. I'm so sorry.
Lesson learned. Kneel first, ask questions later. But yeah, she says, why did I think that I had the power? I had any autonomy. Why did I think that I had the power to choose my own destiny?
Yeah.
She says, only the defeated kneel, only slaves, but now I would do it. And then in this very poignant moment, she like makes eye contact with Eden Derrig, and then he starts to pull they start to retreat as they've not given an inch at this point of contact with the Leosin. Now all of a sudden they're sort of pulling back, which
that is like an intentional thing, as far as I could tell, with the intent on making room for getting another dragon out there so that they can do the thing with the blood and get her done.
So we're back with Sandalath on the throne, and here Erikson starts to add even more sophistication to this concept of this blurring of times. And I think it's wild because we're inside her mind, and she is losing contact with what is real and what is not, what is past, what is present. And it seems to me that what happens here is the real Spinach Darav shows up to, kind of kneel before the queen and offer help and see what's going on. And it sort of isn't aware yet of what's really happening at Lightfall. But in her mind, she still thinks it's the vision of Spinach addressing Rake, but it's actual Spinach addressing her. And she's like, this guy looks too old, but whatever. That's weird. He looks, older than I remember him. And, she is arguing back in the ways like what Rake would have done or Rake did do. But Spinach is arguing with her in real time. It's very sophisticated, but it emphasizes that cyclical nature of how this has happened over and over. It's a wild flourish of narrative, like so audacious, I think, to attempt this.
Yeah. And like you just keep saying, like to make it clear to the reader that this is what's happening.
Yeah.
And isn't Spinach like, the forests are burning down?
Yeah.
But like she does,
he's like, you have to, Salon, because basically the thing we didn't mention in the first scene with Withal is that Sandalath was like, I got a solution. We burn it all down. Burn the city raise Carcanis to the ground. It's all of it needs to be destroyed. That's the only way to end this cycle. And Withal's like, that seems like a bad idea. So now we're in the situation where she has, I guess, in some way called Solana to do just that. Like called this massive elder dragon to come and burn everything to the ground.
Yeah. It seems like the very nature of her being on that throne.
Yeah.
There's some amount of this, the pressure of her will is being heard, felt.
Yes. And Spinnock is like, hey, maybe don't do that. Maybe release Lana from your request, the pact that you have made with her, so that she doesn't, I don't know, destroy all of us and everything here. But Sandalath is like, oh, but when he asked Rake to do that, this is what Rake would have said. And so it's this like very sophisticated, she talks about the cursed blood that he was unable to, that he took into himself on purpose. And it's like layers of history overlapping on the present, really driving home this idea of, if we don't, those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. That that notion, and I think it's so powerfully expressed. Her literally reliving the same moment again in this very powerful, fantastical way. It's so cool, such cool storytelling.
And because she is like reliving the moment, we do learn. I don't know if it's learning or it's like things we already knew, but we're sort of hearing from Rake's perspective about like, you have this blood, you're like trying to resist this blood. And I think he expresses at some point that it is like a mistake that he did. He didn't, because he went and like took the blood of Tiam, but he doesn't. In retrospect, he's like, that was the wrong choice. That was bad. I thought
shouldn't have done that.
I think we knew through other conversation. Yeah, I shouldn't have taken all that dragon blood. And now, here we are. Sorry, everybody.
Live and learn. You live and learn.
I didn't mean to become this crazy killer, but I just can't resist it now. So sorry, everybody.
Yeah. And then Spinnock is like, well, blind Galen's road or Galan's road, and she's like, what? That didn't exist when you came and talked to Rake.
Yeah.
That's weird. Man, my vision be weird, yo.
And then the vision is interrupted again to pop out to somewhere else. Is that correct?
Yes,
we don't
that's right.
finish
Now we pop out. Well, Spinnock is like, I'm going to leave. Oh my God. Are they fighting at the wall right now?
Yeah.
What?
Wait,
you're
sitting in this chair?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you do you, lady. I gotta go.
I'm gonna go get all the rest of the Teist ND right now. Later. All right, so then we do head over to a character we haven't seen in quite a minute, Nimander, son of Animander, who feels this call of the Elent, is trying to resist it, because he's got that dragon blood as well.
Yeah, Solana is coming.
Yeah,
and because of the pact or the feelings, the rage, the memories that are built between Solana and Sandalath right now. Yeah, he's feeling the call to just follow that same will, and they're all like, no, we got it.
It's a burning party. We're all burning.
Yo,
let's go. You got to come to the burning party, bro.
Be there or be like just a assembled human.
Yeah, be there or probably be fighting us later. Yeah. So it is this horrible urge to destroy everything that is sort of built into being a dragon, and now that it is they're sort of indulging in that feeling. Everybody is drawn to it. But he's like, I'm not gonna veer. As long as I don't veer, I'm cool, baby. I'm cool as a human, or as a Teist ND, as the case may be. So he's like, I gotta go and talk to Sandalath and convince her to stop this because this is gonna be bad. And Corlat's like, okay, but I think we're fighting. So just BT dubs. You try to talk her out of it, but I think what's happening is we're fighting.
We're fighting. So if you could make it a little prompt, because we can, we could probably use. Yeah.
So then we pop over to Absalara, who's like, cool. Okay, I'm going to get in this fight too. Where did I leave my armor?
She's like, somebody stole it. And then it describes perfectly. It was my coolest armor. Describes the armor that Withal put on, being like, I don't know, I found some armor. And she's like, here's why it was awesome. And it was my armor.
So sick, this armor that was sitting in a pile called Don't Touch This. It's Absalar's stuff. A little note on it.
Yeah, you forgot the door said Absolar's room, do not enter.
No boys allowed.
No boys allowed.
But yeah, so we have this cool flashback of her like remembering how she got this rad armor, that they found it, this Talana Moss, who is dying, and they're like, what's this armor made out of? They've never seen metal before. It's pretty cool. And he's like, oh, the Jag Hut. Why defy death when you cannot help but fail? They will tell you why. No, they will show you why. Which I thought was a cool like nod to past things we are aware of.
Yeah.
Then we pop over to the other side of Lightfall, and we check in with Aperol Forge, who, thus far in the novel, I've been a little sympathetic to, because he's been the voice of reason on that side, being like, hey, Fant, why are you acting like such an idiot, sending so many people to die for no reason? Why don't we just, this is stupid. But man, Forge, not the greatest of people either.
Not the greatest of people either, but I also am wondering if he's feeling that pull to destroy everything. Because I agree that he's like, this guy is not, he's just sending all these people to their deaths. Like, why are we fighting? It doesn't have to be like this. And then he goes down near the wall, doesn't he? Where like a bunch of the wounded have sort of been dragged back and they're not going to survive anymore. And then he sort of has this altercation with somebody who's been entirely disillusioned of the power they claim to hold over the people. And it's like, I'm not going to tell you about what it's like over there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you any information. Scene. It's great.
I loved it. He's like, how many are over there? And he's like, idiot. I'm not going to tell you, doofus. You're sending us to die. What do we care? We're going to die anyway. Moron. He's like, I will kill you. He's like, what do I care? I'm going to die anyway. He's like, all right, I will kill all these wounded dudes until you tell me one by one, until you tell me how many people are over there. And then he just gets so pissed off. He cuts the dude's head off. And this other guy's like, I'll tell you. I'm just mostly dead. And he's like, there's only 1,000. There's only 1,000 over there. He said, what, 1,000? He said, what about the Hust Legion, the massive army of people armed with the Hust swords and armor? And he's like, idiot. There's only one dude with a Hust sword. Mm-hmm. And Aperol is like, one dude did all of, okay, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to kill that dude. And then this will all be done. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We'll get it done. Mm-hmm. I don't think Aperol realizes who that dude is.
He didn't realize who's going to be getting the spritz.
That's right. But I just love this moment. You see the chaos, the mania, the pure desperation of seeing your entire, like, all your people just fed into this shredder, and willing to do anything to make it stop, but also that turns you into a monster. I thought that was amazing. And then that revelation that so few are killing so many of ours. How can that possibly be? And one guy is killing the dragons, killing the hounds. Like, one guy? One? Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah.
So Aperol is like, I'm going to go in. I'll turn into a dragon. It's time for the final attack. We back to Namander, who's almost to the city. And he sees what is happening he's musing on his dad, Anamander, and how we get this really cool callback to book 1, the Siege of Pale in Gardens of the Moon.
Yeah.
And he's like, if dad had just turned into a dragon, he could have stopped Tayshrin right there. But all of Pale would have been burned to the ground. And instead he killed all them other mages. It didn't work out great because the Moranth, he didn't know about the Moranth munitions, but he tried at least. He tried.
Yeah. He made the choices that at the end of the day, even though it felt like they were occupying and going to take over the city, save the city.
Yeah. And then he runs into Apsalara, who's like, hey, you know that the queen that is sitting on the throne right now that you're going to go talk to, that's Corlat's mom. And also she's gone cuckoo crazy bananas.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to be able to talk her out of it, you might have to kill her. You might have to kill Corlat's mom. And she also says, hey, by the way, Spinnock is bringing all of the Taistendi to battle beside the Sheikh. And I'm going to join the battle too. So, good luck with talking to the queen. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. And then we have, dude, one of the coolest scenes. Full on, once more into the breach, Henry V style, or, Braveheart or whatever amazing stirring battle speech you want to reference. We have Spinnock doing this incredible pounding on the shield. He has this guy stand up, hold your shield, smacking it so hard that the guy's shield splits as he's talking. Another guy comes up to take his place. This incredibly powerful motivational speech to rouse the troops. What an amazing sequence with the percussive shield bashes, in between, it's, this call and response of the shield bash to what he's saying. I just loved it.
Mm-hmm. And like the level up of it, like everything is taken to extremes. The battle scene where somebody is like tapping on their shield, and the rest of the army starts like it's described as like weapons find the edges of their shields to like join in that percussion. But the fact that it's him having somebody else stand there and withstand the blows of what he's doing is not just about getting that rhythm going, but it's also sort of this visual representation of this withstanding the force that will be opposing you, that is all sort of tied in this really powerful version of the rallied the troops.
Also the notion of we have fought in so many wars that weren't ours, that we were fighting other people's wars. Well, guess what? Now this is our war and other people are dying in our stead. We need to go. This is our fight. He says, strangers fight in your name. Strangers die for you. Your cause, not theirs. Children of the dark, humans are dying in your name. So powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I just killer, like full on fantasy. Once more into the breach.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Beautiful.
So they arrive at the shore just as this dragon breaks through, which I think is Apparel Forge.
Well, it's the Sheikh have retreated enough. They kind of push out, and I believe it's the heavies start pushing through for the first time. So they're like, oh man, people in like real armor are here. It's the heavies. It's their, I forget the word for it. It's their elites.
Elites,
group,
yeah.
Come through, and then there's just enough room that I think Jan catches it or somebody catches it, that there's like 3 people and like little pockets of people start spreading away from them quite quickly. And then 3 separate Elaint come through the gate and then veer all at the same time.
So sick.
Or multiple. I don't know if it's 3 or if it's like, oh, there's actually 7. And like more of them end up pouring out later, but definitely April is part of that initial group.
Yeah. Then we're back in the throne room with Sandalath, who's still tripping hard on the throne. Nimander comes in to importune her to stop this, to release Lana, stop the dragons. But she, Nimander is Anna Rake's son. She thinks it's Rake. She thinks it's a vision of Rake.
I love that she. Go ahead.
No, it's just another layer that Erikson is using, and I love it. But go ahead.
Oh, I love that she's like, oh, Animander's here. Animander's so weak. Why is he so weak? This is this Animander. He's pathetic all of a sudden.
He looks like baby Animander.
Animander's like, I get it. My dad was so cool and hot.
She's like, if that's really you, Animander, show me your sword. Show me Draconis.
Yeah.
And Animander's like, it's not really me. That's not who I am.
If it's really you, Rake, say something mean and powerful. Well, it's not. It's that was Daddy. She's like, I knew it. He's like, I'm telling you it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to. Yeah, and she's like, okay, Neil. And by the way, Orphantal, my son Orphantal is Knight of Darkness. And Nimandra's like, we're talking about the destruction of Carcanis. There's not going to be a Knight of Darkness if you don't release Lana. What is happening right now?
And like, why aren't you like going to your people, by the way? Like, why are you here? And she's like, I only care about my son. Bring me my son. And he's like, you've got a daughter. She's like, here. And she's like, who? Her? My son. Like, just the Corlat is not on her radar as something she cares about.
Yeah. And she says, now who is the hostage? Which I thought was cool. Like, she's holding Rake hostage in her mind.
Yeah.
Then we are back to the horrible battle, and our little new friend Charles, who all she wanted to do was protect her brothers. Well, now her brothers are dead. She is standing by Brevity, who has lost her compatriot, Pithy.
Pithy.
Yeah. And they've kind of backed off, and they see the Leosin veer. This is that moment where you're talking about where the like elites veer, and they're like, oh no. Then we have this. I think that's the moment where Brevity. Is that the moment where Brevity says, "We're going to be buddies. We're going to be best friends"?
Yeah, they're together. And I think Charles is sort of in her own head being like, I think Charles has her story.
Later. Happens later.
Charles has her story that she goes through about how she's like, all I wanted to do was like be there for my brothers. I couldn't save them, just like I couldn't save them, my real brothers the first time. Yeah. And we get her backstory of sort of like, her siblings being mistreated and malnourished and just sort of dying in the streets, and her finding other kids on the streets and being like, these are your new names, the names of my younger brothers, and I'll look out for you. And that being this pattern of like her denial of the fact that her brothers, who her as a big sister were charged on taking care of, and never, it's a goal that she's never felt like she has ever accomplished. And this is another failure at that. And just like very tragic story. Yeah.
So sad. I was wrong. That all of that you just said happens much later, but yes,
oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. I agree that is it's such the way that is unfolded, where you have these layers of Charles, where I'm like, oh my God, all she wants to do is save her brothers, like her sense of duty, and oh my gosh, I'm the only thing they have. It's my responsibility to save them. They die. Oh, it's bad. But then the revelation that they weren't even her real brothers, that her real brothers died so long ago, and she's been play acting at this sense of duty because she failed the first time. It's like even more tragic. It's just incredible storytelling. Okay, and then we have just a killer action sequence with Eden Derrig killing a dragon, but going down himself.
I just love that. I mean, I know it's the sword, like the exhaustion, and a lot of it is just driven by the husked sword itself. But then being like, knowing April's like, I'm gonna go get his ass, and then he's like, man, I'm a dragon, and he's like, no thought, no hesitation, not even 1 second. He's barely veered, not even gets a chance to take off, and he's jumping out and cutting his throat apart. And this one, he ends up going down. He gets caught in the claw, crushed, pierced, just his body squished to death by the power of this dragon. But just how quickly he's like, a dragon, not today, like it's instant. There's not like necessarily like he has to battle his way through it to try and get to it's instantaneous that he's like, see dragon, kill dragon. And this one just happened to get him back.
Well, I don't know how you felt about that moment, but I didn't have like an emotional response to Eden Derrig going down in particular because of that character, but I was feeling in that moment, oh, he is the only way that they have been surviving this long. He goes down now. We just heard that like 3 or 4 more dragons just assembled. He killed one. He's killed what, 2, and then all the hounds. They got bigger problems. This is gonna be bad. I was like, oh no, he can't die at the first of these new dragons.
I thought the same thing, and then I was like, but it is also the sword, right? Is that something?
Yeah.
Obviously, he is a very competent fighter as well, but is this something that somebody could just, glue that thing into their hands and sort of carry on the torch? Was where I was thinking.
Yeah, but I mean, what we really are getting is this, like, the ND coming to save the day, right? That's what we're hoping about, is these influx of new army. And the next scene is Corlat trying to resist Solana's will. She senses the Leosin soul taken, and they veer right as they arrive at they become dragons. The Leosin can become dragons, and then this like soaring air battle. It's like, oh, so epic. And so epic.
And they're like, there's that forest before the shore, right? So to me, I don't know exactly what time of day it is. It's Carcanis. It's dark, right? All the time.
Yeah, it's always dark. Yeah.
But the idea of like, there's this light wall behind these trees, and in my mind, the silhouettes of like the last row of trees, and they're seeing between it the brightness of the wall, and they're like, whoa, they be veering over there. And the idea that they have these dragons coming through this light wall, and the Link coming through the light wall and veering into dragons, and then crashing out of the trees as dragons, and like, oh my gosh, everybody's here now. Woo!
Sick. So sick. Then we're back to Yantovas, who is trying to make it over to her brother's body. The witches are feeding off of her blood, and they start dying. Squish dies. Pulley dies.
It's very, very sort of, I wouldn't say bittersweet is the right word, but this idea, there's two things happening. These dragons are here, and they're feeding off of her blood to feed their sorcery, which they're using to fight off the dragons. Yeah. They're not just using it to get youthful and be like little sexy babies. They are doing it to use their abilities. But the fact that they die also gives Jan enough physical strength back, because she's not being drained to continue this crawl to her brother. So you have this tiny personal journey of something she's trying to accomplish, just getting close to her brother while she's dying. And then the larger battle trying to be won. And there's an interesting sense of loss and sense of triumph in the witches dying, allowing Jan to reach her goal, but ultimately being pretty bad for everybody else though, right?
Yeah. And she reaches Ynderaig, and he has this, this kind of sad death where he said, I finally made it home. I see home. And then we're sort of back in the horrible battle. Nymander is still trying to resist, veering into a dragon. And he's like, oh, Apsalara needs to be here. But instead, Fade shows up.
Yo.
What? Out of nowhere.
Blast from the past.
And she's like,
Sandalath. Like, hold up, honey. Bro, look, I can be the mean girl. That's my whole thing.
That's totally what it is. I'm already dead. I got nothing to lose. Let's do this.
You are too sweet, summer child. Anyway,
that's right.
Sandy. Can I call you Sandy?
She's like, guess what? Orphandal is going to die if you don't release Sandalath. And she's like, my beautiful boy? And she's like, yeah. And Nymander's like, is that really going to happen? She's like, shut up. The girls are talking. This negotiation is happening between the two of us. Yeah. Get out of it. And she's like, Sandalath, all you got to do is go back to your little hostage room. Lock yourself inside.
There? Wasn't it kind of nice to have that lock there?
Just go there. Orphandal will be there. If he's not there, just wait longer.
Honestly, if you go up there, I'll send him right up.
Yeah. Yes. So Sandalath is like, deal. I want to see my son. Solana, you're free. I'm out. And Fate is like, "You're welcome, dude. By the way, I told you I was going to haunt you." And she said, I told you I was going to haunt you, torment you, but instead you deliver me home. She's like, "You go with the other Thai standee. I'm going to go and keep Sandalath company in her sad little hostage room."
Which was like code for not that, or was she actually keeping her company?
I took it as face value, but maybe not.
I thought he was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go to the battle now. What are you gonna do? She's like, well, Sam's waiting for somebody. I'm gonna go knock at the door. I thought it was like,
oh, I see. Can keep
put her out of her
killer?
Misery. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Interesting. Well, I don't know. We'll see.
Because that's what Fade was wanting to do.
That's right. You're right. On the boat. That's why she got killed, is because she was trying to kill Sandalath. Oh, man, that really recontextualizes that whole thing, because she's like, this whole problem wouldn't have happened if I just killed Sandalath.
Yeah, if I got to do what I got to do, this wouldn't have been an ish.
Wow. Yeah, didn't think about that. So then Apsalara on the battlefield saves Withal, and she's like, "That's my armor! You took my armor!" All right, you can wear it for a while. And then this is where Charles gets wounded. She thinks she's going to die, and Brevity is like, "You be my friend. Be my friend. Without a friend, nothing worse than not having a friend. Be a friend. We'll be friends until the end."
Is this where Charles has her thing where this is where we see her backstory?
No, still not.
Even later? Oh my God.
Yeah. We pop over to a new character next. Zevgan Drowls. And we have this kind of little cool backstory with this brand new character who basically was like a crusader for the people, just like decided he was going to burn down the records of all the debt holders and free people. And he kind of like, as they're fighting, admits his crimes. And all the other Lethari are like, "What? Dude, you should have gotten executed for that." He's like, "I know. Taking down the system, the man, is the worst crime you can do." But he's like, "I don't regret it."
I love the idea of being out on the battlefield and his obviously impressive and cool, but being like, "I jaywalked a couple times. I'm still gonna get off my chest.
I got stuff to admit. I have things to say." / kill, killed, stab. Yeah. Then we're in the mind of Fant, who is soaring around as a dragon. They're attacking the ND dragons. He's like, "I'm gonna kill that Yantovus. Is gonna be so sick. Love it." So sad that Aperol Forge was killed. Like, yeah,
and he also like looking around and being like, "And yeah, all my other dragon guys, they're dying too, but I'm still gonna get still all
kill. Good for me." Yeah, he doesn't care about anything, which is exactly what Aperol Forge had said about him earlier. It was like, if he stands on this pile of corpses, as long as he's still in power, he doesn't care. But then Corlat comes by and attacks him, and he's like, "No, I want peace." And she's like, "Here's peace. You're in pieces." No, it wasn't very good.
Really good. I liked it. I liked it.
That's why I'm not the author. So then Corlat is watching the Andi slaughter Leosin by the thousands. She's pursuing the rest of them through the breach, and she's like, "This, we're actually going to have an end here. This is going to be an actual end to this battle."
We've missed I think a massively important part of this. I think it happened before Eden dies. When does Jan kneel to the people?
Oh, does that happen already?
I think it happens before the dragons come in and do the assembling, before that last battle, before the heavies come through, the elites come through. She is talking about. I want to make sure it's not something we miss, because I think it is a hugely important. Because she has this like conversation being like, the next opportunity, I'm not missing the kneeling part. But so this is a bit of a rewind here, and maybe I'm misremembering the timeline, but I was pretty sure that her brother was alive for the moment, because it relied on the husked sword killing a dragon to sort of be able to do it. And so, sorry if I'm speaking out of order. She has this moment where there's like a brief lull in the battle. And she turns and looks at the last people who have been fighting with her. And she's like, these are the people like kneeling I could have saved. I could have saved so many more. These people, not even my people. These people just being here to fight this battle. And she turns and she kneels, but in her mind, she's like, I'm not kneeling to the shore. We're not here just to make more bones on the bone shards. We're here. I'm kneeling to these people. I'm kneeling to this group of people who would fight here. That is who she kneels to. And that is like the power, like one of the powerful turns in her realizing, or to me, it's like realizing what it takes to be a leader is to be the person who's kneeling in sacrifice at the front of the line. And she does it. And the way that she does it, she turns her back to where the enemy is, so she can face her people. And then that could have easily had her get cut down. The first swipe, because she kneels, she dodges an attack from one of the elites that comes through that would have taken her down. She kneels to the people as a dodge from the elites, and then turns and runs to them to start fighting with them again.
Yeah. How did I miss this?
I am surprised that wouldn't have been in the thing.
It is.
Maybe it is later.
It definitely is. It can't be after. So I know that happened, and I can't find where it happens. But yes, you're right to talk about how amazing a moment that is, where she's like, I'm going to kneel, but you're right. I'm not kneeling to the shore.
Yeah.
I'm kneeling to the people. And then it's echoed back when the Tistandi kneel to her.
Yeah. Which is why I wanted to make sure that we got that.
Oh, I don't see where this is happening. Man. Yeah, somewhere in there it happens. And I remember it being real powerful, but I don't know why I'm not seeing it in the
there's a lot of stuff in the chat, so I wouldn't be surprised if it gets missed. But I mean, I forgot about it until I'm like, oh, we have another kneeling scene coming up, but that is only as powerful as it is because of this first kneeling scene,
right?
that we didn't talk about yet.
Yeah. All right. So, the next up is Absolara getting her armor back from Withal, who is, angry and grieving. And she's like, look up. And this is when the Andi are kneeling to the Sheikh.
Yeah. So the line that triggered that in my head of being like, this is like this is the final battle. So everybody's throwing everything they have. The Andi are here. They're giving everything. And they, I think, they Corlett shreds that one guy to pieces. He falls, and I think he assembles again once he gets down, and Corlett and him have a little chat. Maybe that's after this next scene. Yeah. But it really starts feeling like, once all the dragons are there and all the Andi are fighting, it starts becoming this denouement of battle, and clearly being that the Sheikh are going to be victorious.
Yeah. Yes. And, they're sort of on the shore. She's Yantovis and the Sergeant Kellos or Cellos are there. She's like, we want to show them that the Andi are kneeling, and Absolar's like, not yet. Then Nimander and Skintic and Desra and Nananda show up. Nimander's weeping. Corlat is like, hey, Sandalath saw reason. And he's like, Corlat, are you going to go to your mom? And she's like, no, she only cared about her son. That was the only child that ever mattered to her. Mm-hmm. And I failed to protect him.
The scene is so beautiful. Corlett gets to kill this guy. And Jan basically through the entire end of that battle, it just went over to her brother. Yeah. And like, even as she went over to him and sort of like holding his hands as like life has left his body. As soon as she gets there, he didn't immediately. So they got one last breath together, it feels like. Yeah. And she's just been in kind of like this silent grieving, kneeling at her brother's body. And then as the battle comes to a close, all of the Sheikh go, and they have been protecting that area. Now they huddle around and they are kneeling. All the Andes see that they are kneeling, and it's this sort of radiating force of the power of these, siblings, the queen and I guess he's like a prince, the Sheikh. I don't know what he technically is. Just the watch.
Twilight. Yeah.
And then there's sort of like the power of all that is swirling around and checking in with people throughout before anybody is willing to sort of rouse Yan and be like, check us out, girl. Look at all these things. Look at the power of taking a knee.
Yeah. And there's this crazy moment too, that sort of is enigmatic and hints at something else where she says, Corlett says, in ancient times, Highness, there stood at your side a sister of night. Will you take me? And Jan Tovis is like, no. Sister of night is not for one of pure blood. And Corlett's like, my blood is not pure. Which is like, what does that mean?
I was like, is this something? I couldn't tell if that was like in another novel somewhere.
It might be.
Or if I was like, should I know more about that? It felt like such an important thing for her to say that I was like, did I know that?
Well, here's my reading of it. And again, it may be, again, some hinting at some story that's yet to be told or going to be told in the other trilogies that we haven't read yet. But we know that something awful happened to Sandalath.
Yeah.
And I suspect that Corlett is a child of rape.
Yeah.
And the blood is not pure means her dad was not pure.
Yeah.
That's
what I was suspecting too, but we never, that was not something we experienced in these.
No, we don't know that to be true, but I that's what I'm picking up. Maybe I'm wrong. And also the thing that's interesting here is that, Withal understands immediately what it's about. And he says, suddenly comprehended Corlett's meaning. That Corlett will have no place in the palace of the queen, Sandalath Durkalat. Mm-hmm. And his heart breaks again. He says, oh, Sand, which makes me believe that she's not being murdered right now by Fade.
Hey, anyway, maybe.
And then we have the scene with Charles that we talked about already, where she kind of reveals that her brothers weren't even actually her real brothers, which I thought was very powerful. And then this keening, this reverence to Eden and Jan Tovis welcoming him home is how the chapter ends. Just an incredible, powerful sort of climax to the entire Lightfall battle storyline. But I'm just very curious what this means for everything else, because it felt like this parallel thing that's happening, and I suspect it's going to link up in some way. But it's an amazing chapter of battling and deaths and consequences.
Amazing action and amazing just sort of stories, both like the individual stories of people in this battle and
totally
the overarching. It's great.
All right, chapter 20, we are back with our sad walkers through the glass desert. And we have this boy going through the camp, drawn to the screams of someone giving birth. The Kundral gathering at this tent.
Isn't it Rut?
Yeah, I don't think we're told specifically, but I believe it is Rut.
Yes. It says something about like his arms holding the shape already. Yeah.
And then we have a scene where Gaul, the father of this baby being born, doesn't want to go, doesn't want to see, and Jastara is like puts a knife to his throat. Is like, you are going to step up and do your responsibility one last time.
It is such an intense scene because somebody else comes first and is like, you better go to her, and he's like, no, my sons are dead and I'm so sad. He says something, and I think it was like her other being what's War Leader Gull's wife's, I can't remember her name right now.
Habrinal, yes, whatever her name is.
Hanavat. Havanot. Yeah.
Havanot? Yeah.
Hanavat, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
we are terrible.
We're doing a bad job. Her pal is like, you got to come, guy, and he's like, no. And then I think Jastara comes out like after, maybe she doesn't come talk, and he's just thinking internally, should I go? Should I not go? I can't. I'm just so pathetic. Blah blah blah. I'm so sad. It's not real. My sons are dead. And the fact that she comes out and Jastara being, his son's wife, who has this contentious relationship that, as far as we know, has not truly been healed between her and Hanavat, is the person being like, you go to your wife, you like get out of my bed and go to your wife and be with her.
Yeah.
And then like how just emotionally complicated all this is, where he looks at her and is like, oh, my son did such a good job in picking you as a wife.
Yeah.
It's like it's layered in such a gross, and then she kind of like breaks down in feeling those feelings too. It's just, the whole thing is complicated. What a messy situation. But sure enough, he goes over and is with his wife while she's giving birth.
Yeah. And all the children of the snake are sort of drawn to this. And we're in Badal's POV, and she's like, nobody really understands what's happening, but we have, we think these soldiers and all these adults think that the children have blessed them, but they have actually blessed us, because now there's adults in the room. There's people present that we can actually offload our support to. And she's like, I hope they remember us. Hope someone speaks of us. And she watches as War Leader Gull goes into the tent, and they hear the baby being born. And then the adjunct walks up, and Badal takes her hand, and the adjunct is like, oh, I'm not ready to be your mommy.
I just love that the way that it's described is like the adjunct, she goes to take her hand and she like recoils as she's hurt. She's like, and she just goes, don't do that.
Yeah.
And like that's all we get from her.
Yeah.
But we know it's because she's tottering on the edge. We know that at any time, like that kind of tenderness would just shatter her entirely.
Yep.
But you can picture it as somebody who, like, the appearance is that she's like bad with kids. It's like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
It's right. I just love how it's delivered, but it all's like, okay.
Yeah. Okay, mommy.
Okay, mama.
Then we have a series of scenes that I just love. I pulled a number of my quotes for the end of the show from these scenes because they're so good, and it's like, I love when Erikson does this, where we just sort of pop between POVs of the soldiers, and we get these different inner life moments. But I think in this particular case, it's even more poignant for me, because it feels like all of them, each of these moments that we're popping into, are motivated by a response to seeing these children. It's like all of them are thinking about being a child or their relationship with children because they're forced to. And I just love it. I love it. The first is
they're all on the edge of death. So the fact that it's sort of like wrapped in to like all of them are dying.
Yes.
They all said one more day, and then thinking like the catalyst being the children, and then being like, they forgot about toys. They forgot what toys were.
Yeah.
Being this driver, well, all of them are at the end of their lives. There's like just sort of like this beautiful and sad swirling around of these these things to pontificate
and
on.
you understand where where these moments are conjured from. We're not just randomly popping in, even though that would in and of itself would be cool. It's like it's variations on a theme, and it's filtered through the prism of each of their own life experience. The first is Cory, who muses on, these prostitutes that he, was raised by. Incredibly powerful. I pulled a section from this. It's so good. And what these prostitutes, what they would go through, what was precious to them, the fact that innocence is the most important thing because they were forced to give up that part of themselves. I thought just gorgeous writing. And he thinks about Ruth and Good and about what toys. He says, it's not just that they forgot what toys are, they forgot what playing is.
Yeah. Even when they realized they were toys, they still didn't know what to do with them.
And he's like, the crippled God took that away from the prostitutes. And I'm not doing this for the crippled God at all. I'm doing this for the children and for innocence as a concept. Powerful stuff, man. Just so good. Bottle is next, who talks about storytelling and his grandmother weaving these stories. I completely broke down and cried during that little scene. Again, I pulled
I was like, I forget. I feel like every single one, I'm like, so I pull this whole short story.
I know, dude.
This whole short story.
All of these are like, I could just do each one of these. It's amazing. And then Smiles. Smiles is an incredible piece of writing. Again, a sophisticated concept that just the audacity to attempt this trick, this magic trick that he pulls with Smiles, where she's like, oh, I always had this dream about being a mom, and I was going to have twin girls. And then somebody was going to come to me and say, you got to pick which twin lives and which twin dies. And in my fantasy, I just murder those mother effers. And then it sort of in the course of telling it, we realize this is what actually happened to her, that she was the twin that survived, that wasn't killed. And it's this like I don't want to say self-deception, but the like stories we tell ourselves to sort of cope,
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It's not self-deception. It's just like imagining a better life. It is doing anything to lessen that pain.
I would in my mother's own place, I would do something different to save myself from the life that I've had to live.
Yeah. Ugh.
And you see her like sadistic glee that we've lived with every time we've known her, like Smiles, because she uses these knives, and we see where that comes from. We see where that seeds of that are, and how she would I would murder them so hard when I'm in that position. Heart-wrenching.
Mm-hmm.
Cuddle story about being the last brother to die for something. His brothers died for nothing.
Yeah.
He would die for a cause. He imagines this grand, epic last stand. And here we are on the verge of withering away, of just collapsing in the desert with none of that glory, none of the thing he envisions, this climactic battle that will mean something. And here he is literally about to just keel over for nothing. The irony of that, the tragedy of that.
Mm-hmm.
Tar is next, who is thinking about Fiddler and Cuddle. And he's like, my loyalty will keep me going. My loyalty will keep me going. Just spectacular, a spectacular chapter.
We've had a lot of those chapters of popping between different people on the precipice of something. And it has typically been the precipice of some kind of battle. And the energy is different. you have moments where people are reflecting on their lives, but you also have people sort of blowing off steam. You have like a little comedic bit where like Smiles is throwing a dagger at Bottle, and they're being silly little guys. The energy is different, and it has like an electricity to it. And all of these being these self-reflections, it's just indicative of like what the precipice of this. It is that edge of death that they're on. That it just is. It's very special.
We talked right at the top of this episode about how here we are at 66% of the way through, and it doesn't feel like we've started bringing things to a close yet. And part of that is the amount of time Erikson is willing to take to convey the brutality, the bleakness, to show the plodding collapse of this march through oblivion. He is really willing to just put you in it and keep you in it and show you how beaten down, how dehydrated, how bleak this is. It's impressive the amount of energy and effort he puts into taking us to the precipice. For what happens at the end of this chapter.
You think they, those casks are empty, but we still have to wait to reach the bottom of the barrel in our emotional journey as readers to have the end of this chapter have the impact that it has.
And the next section of this chapter is really seeing how much the desperation, the thirst, the torture that they're experiencing results in them turning on each other. Because we have this new character, that we both really like, who's now gotten a new name, Shorthand, which is such a great name. Because what have we learned about this guy in like 2 scenes that he's existed in this pantheon of characters? We learned 2 things about him, right? He's got no fingers, still a thumb. His hand's short. But what else did he do? He wrote like 2 sentences and was able to recite the entire thing verbatim. So what did he do? He took shorthand. Chef's kiss, Mr. Erikson. Chef's kiss.
I thought you said Jeff's kiss there, and I was like,
well,
I love that.
That too.
Oh, that gets the Jeff's kiss seal
Just
of approval. So good.
It doesn't get better than that. It doesn't. Shorthand. Come on.
And him being like, I took on the name Shorthand. It's not in first person, but took on the name Shorthand, and him sort of being like pleased with that.
Yeah.
It's like all we've seen is like maximum joy, little cuteness, little competence. So good. Oh no. And now he's clocked with a mace. It's like, come on, man. We just got to know this guy.
The other thing about me not seeing that coming is what's so beautiful about it. I'm shorthand. God damn it. So perfect. So perfect. Should have seen it coming. Didn't. Beautiful. Magic trick accomplished.
Yeah.
And then, also we love this little guy, and he loves himself. He's like the one little dude in this horror show that's just like, hey, things are better today than they were yesterday.
Yeah.
And then literally mid fantasy where he's like, people are going to talk about me. It's going to be great. Mid fantasy clunked upside this head by a rock. And we are just tossed into this. And how brilliant is it that we've been like, inside someone's head for a little short story. Inside someone's head for a little short story. Few more times. Oh, inside Shorthand's little head for a short clonk. Guess what? Reality has just invaded our musings.
Yeah. Thrown into the mutiny.
Yeah. And it's awesome. I think we can sort of get through this quickly. It's an awesome sequence. We have these raiders, smacking into Shorthand. They're looking for water. They're trying to get these casks of water that are now empty. They don't know they're empty.
Wait, when does the Pores stabbing.
Right next.
Great.
So then or immediately into Pores kind of coming out of this wagon. They're trying to fix it. He's like, hey, we should have put some grease on this. Oh, we were saving the grease for when it got really bad. Guess what? It's really bad.
And Pores going through back there, and even like him talking to himself, being like, I'm not going to get it right. It's like Master Sergeant, Quartermaster, Lieutenant.
Oh, dude.
Guy Pores. His name's like a full sentence on the page.
The part where he gets into an argument with himself in his two roles, there's like, who's the damn quartermaster that did this? Oh, I guess it was me. Quartermaster, you're terrible. Well, sorry, sir. I get, like this, like the insanity of, where they are and how bleak things are. And he's just like having this Abbott and Costello routine in his head.
And it's because he like goes into the back of the wagon and he's like, all right, where's the grease? What are we doing here? And then he's like, what's in here? He's like, ooh, a spare uniforms. Nobody tell the heavies they've been lugging around useless garbage. Yikes. That's what starts him being like, who did this? That's pretty bad.
It's so
honestly.
great. He's like,
we're all dying for these spare uniforms.
Pulling boxes and boxes of heavy ass uniforms that no one cares about.
It was like, there's everything in the wagon that he looks at other than like the little bit of the scrapings of grease that wouldn't have saved the axle anyway. But he's like, I really been doing a bad thing to all these dudes.
It's my bad. That's again on me. That's on me. But then he steps out and Blistig is there and he lands and like his legs collapse because he's so weak. And that is what prevents the knife from stabbing him directly in the heart and just stabbing it too high. Incredible. And Blistig is like, oh, we got a bleeder. Oh, well, I'll just let him bleed out. Mm-hmm. He's lying there and he sees Talana Moss show up.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then we're just kind of thrown into this awesome
the chaos of the fight. Well, there's the Malazans being like, where is Shorthand? Like people are looking for him and they're like, okay, we think that something's amiss because people think they're pulling the wool over eyes. Like we're not plugged into some rumblings, but we hear rumblings. And so we think something's up here. And then immediately they
Sitter gets shot in the butt with an arrow.
Yeah. He's like climbing. I forget if he's standing there, if he's already climbing into the back of a wagon to like look for something, but he gets shot in the butt with an arrow. They climb into a wagon. Everybody's like, okay, there's snipers with crossbows just out of our purview. So like everybody keep your heads down, but let's figure this out. And then of course they're like, they're in the back of this wagon and giving each other hand gestures.
Hellion shows up and she's like, I'll find those crossbows. Let's get them, boys. And she's like sober and like awesome again, you know, like not completely hammered.
There was part of me that was like, is everything that Hellion has done so far like drunken master, like she needs that to do something, and it's like no, she's also just like good, but still like dangerous and irreverent. And they're like, can you keep your head down? And she's like, I'll go get him. It's like the good thing they were loading the quarrel this whole time while you were like standing up and being like, what's going on around here? Let's roll out, you know?
Let's go get him. Yeah. Amazing. And they're like, it's totally Blistig who did it. And they're like, let's go get him. And like, oh, we found Pores. He needs a healer. So like, oh crap. Short Nose finds Short Hands, or hears that Short Hands has a busted skull. Mm-hmm. Then we get back. They have found Blistig, and Kindly's like, "Everyone get back! Nobody touch him!" And
just before we do this scene, so the Malazans pretty. I think they do sort of the wagon fight before the Blistig stuff finishes out. Is that true?
Yeah, they have the wagon fight where they like kill a couple of dudes.
They kill a couple of dudes. They're like, there's definitely a couple more, and one of the things I thought was really interesting about it is like they're still in this big caravan of people. And even while they're going and trying to clean up this mutiny, everybody is so tired, so drained, so on the edge of death that the caravan's just moving around them. Like this intensity is happening that could make this, quote unquote, useless mission even more useless, of this internal battling just for the sake of like the madness of hunger and the distrust in going through this desert. Truly make it worth nothing.
Yeah.
And everybody's just just keep it
And
on.
the regular,
What else can they do? What else?
They talk about the regulars being jerkwads, but then some of them they see us, they know, they understand. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Kindly's like, hey, nobody touches Blistig or you get executed on the spot. And they're like, we're gonna die tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. The threat of execution means nothing, dude. And Balm is like, hey, Ruth and Good, Feridan Sort, and Scanero are with Blistig, and they saw that he has Poor's blood on his knife.
Yeah.
And like,
I think that's so funny that they saw that he has Poor's blood on his knife, but then it cuts to him and he's like, "Yeah, I killed him." It's like, he's not like
Poor's blood on his knife. Yeah, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
The way this all plays out is just so epic. I love it. But then we have this awesome scene too that is just feels like just like Color, which is Dead Smell goes to Poor's and is like, yeah, I'm a healer, but I don't have any healing magic because there's no magic in this dead desert.
Yo.
So maybe I'll try, I don't know, surgery, I guess.
So great.
Sick.
And then him being like, all right, you guys got long fingies. Can you stick them in there?
Yeah, you're like long little bony undead fingies. And they're like, hey, healer man, do not worry. Our fingers are free
There's nothing alive on our fingers. The fact that he's like, your fingers
contaminants.
Well, Desmond looks at their fingies and he's like, those fingies pretty nasty looking folks. And they're like, you think we're nasty? There's not an alive cell on our bodies. Your tools and just general self will cause infection if nothing else.
These are sanitized fingies. What are you? You're the icky one with all the biology still on you.
And then he's like, okay, here's the thing. You're going to put the fingies in. You're going to stretch it as wide as possible. But then he's like, there's too many fingies in the way. And they're like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to just reach our fingies in there and grab the pieces. And he's like, okay, I'll tell you. Just grab them, pinch them, and then let me sew it together. And it's just, it's surgery, but he's using Talana Moss hands as the surgical tools. Bro.
Dead Smells undead surgery. It's so rad.
Awesome.
All right. So then, Blistig is like, hey, Kindly, guess what? I did it. I'd do it again. This Poor's was a traitor. I was executing him as per my, my ability to do so as his supervisor.
And he's like, you weren't his supervisor. He's like, I'm a supervisor. So count it.
That's right. He's like, Poor's had been saving water for the officers because we're better than everybody else. There's a hierarchy of who should get water. Right, everybody? Other officers?
Blistig trying to rally himself and being like, the water needs to go to the highborn. And he's like, highborn?
Yeah.
Like the fact he's delusioned to
you're not even highborn, dude. Yeah.
He's like, but I earned. He's like, there's other ways of being highborn. And he's like, that's not what the word means.
Yeah.
You earning highborn? Highborn.
Amazing. Like him being a massive jerko, galvanized 100% here, but Ruth and Good being like, doesn't matter. Guess what? We gave all the water to the kids. And he's like,
there's also one thing I want to point out. One of my favorite comments from last week, which also everybody's comments on the videos lately have just been really quick aside here. The comments on the videos have been so delightful, both from the little things that the takeaways that people have. I love it when people share their favorite sentences from it. And also so many people last week saying that they've been waiting this whole time and just caught up with us for the end of this book. And I wanted to say, shout out to all of you. So glad that you made it to experience this with us. It's crazy. And I every time I read through the comments, there's a bit of me that's like, it's so surreal that all of you are doing this. But somebody had this, I wish I wrote it down. Somebody had this excellent comment and a reflection about how Blistig's distrust in leadership comes from the experience of seeing Pormqual ordering everybody to their deaths and having the perspective that Tavor could be another leader doing that again, and his sort of rage at that and thrashing at that. I love that.
Righteousness about that. Like,
yes,
I'm not going to let that I mean, his whole position this entire time is, she's marching us to our deaths, you idiots.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this? Why are we following her just because she has the title? Why are you morons all willing to die for her for nothing? We're going to go out here. We're going to all keel over and die. Stupid. And you know what? It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It makes a lot. I'm not into the, straight up murder your fellow soldiers as he gets to. But again, it's beautiful that Erikson gives him a point of view that is defensible
and
to a certain extent. And
the fact that he's experienced before. And it's like you look back and the fact that he resisted that the first time made him the hero of the survivors of Aren. Yeah. Aren, like so awesome. But then those same sensibilities that have him resist that kind of poor leadership, it's like it's a double-edged sword and totally believable that he would be like, this is stupid, this is happening all over again. But also that inability to be sort of sense which sort of direction is like right and why it would be good, or like he sort of like has a limit to his belief in leadership. It's great. It's so well done. His character is so full.
At some point, we need to talk about, not today because we're already super long, but at some point we need to talk about this accusation that was leveled at Erikson at one point that he doesn't do characterization well.
Oh my God.
And he responded to it on Facebook years ago. It's like, that couldn't be farther from like the characterization and the fact that literally every one of these hundreds of characters is full, is rich, is three-dimensional.
It's
unbelievable.
I want to be like, show me your librry. What's your definition of good characterization?
I know.
Let me in there.
It's how often we hide our hand in our sleeve.
Oh, that is what I was thinking, but I wasn't gonna.
I shouldn't be like that. That is not a nice thing to say, Jeff. Bad, Jeff. Bad.
I would smack your hand if it weren't tucked so safely.
All right, so then this amazing moment where Kindly is like, all right, Blister, I'm not going to murder you. Put him up. Put him up. Oh, I'm so tired.
Oh my God.
No, I'll punch you right in your...
Sam.
Does anybody have any water?
The tired, on the verge of death, old guy fight in the desert, like two swings at each other. The way it's described, like they're so weak. Like the intensity is there and the intention is there, and like you get why this means more than executing Blistig it outright. You know why this is valuable, but being like, they're not punching hard enough to bruise. They're not doing anything to break skin. They're just like it's a couple swings, and then they're both like, oh God.
I can't.
There's so much sand in my eyes.
I can't remember whose point of view we're in the scene, but the fact that I think it's she uses the word pathetic, like it's actually like they're all just standing watching these two pathetic old dry losers attempt to punch
brawling.
Each other. Incredible. And and even the whole thing, the whole thing feels so impotent. Yes.
And and even then that feels wrapped up in the whole, like it feels like subtext for everything.
The bleakness,
wanting to fight each other is bleak. Wanting to go through this desert feels bleak. Like it feels only like a microcosm of all of the efforts in another pathetic, futile
That's
feeling.
Right. All of it is for nothing. Like it is just all symbols, I'm reminded of the Shakespeare line, from Macbeth. You know what I'm talking about. The signifying nothing. What's the word? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I don't know.
My brain's not working.
That well.
Okay. But I like also how this ends where Kindly's like, I'm gonna be waiting for you when we're all dead. I'll be waiting for you past Hood's gate. And Scannerow's like, dude, if anybody's gonna be waiting for him, it's gonna be Pores. And also, nobody waits for you after Hood's gate. We're dead. Who cares? We're all dead. I like that. I don't even buy into this whole thing. And
meanwhile, then the Talanomas, don't they walk by with pores? And he's like, see you later.
I know, right? Still alive, buddy. Yeah. And then this moment with Scanner and Good, where she's like, you're gonna be fine. We're all dead tomorrow. We're all gonna be dead. You're gonna be fine. Are you gonna remember me? And he's like, everybody thinks that when you're basically immortal, the hard part is all the people you forget. But he's like, the hard part is remembering. And she's like, well, guess what? I wish for you to forget me. It's like, their
beautiful. Little love story is so sweet.
Beautiful. So Blistig stomps away and he's like, I'm going to kill that Tavor. I'm going to kill her slowly. It's going to be so great.
He gets his mantra. He's like, I got to get up off the ground and start walking to see her, to see her.
Just to see her dead. Yeah. So then, we got so much more to go. We're already long. So then Badal watches another Kundral kid give Sadik a toy. They're like consolidating their toys in Sadik's little sad sack.
Oh.
He's a little sad sack.
His sad sack is bigger.
Yeah.
And this, it's too hard to carry even. It's too big to carry.
This scene made me weep. This scene is beautiful with Gaul and Hanavat. Why do I always want to do that? Hanavat. Exiting the tent. They've got the new baby. Hanavat has the new baby in her arms. Rut comes up. Badal is watching this. His arms, like he held for so long that his arms are like stuck in that position. And it empty now because Held is dead.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, he's going to be so disappointed when they aren't willing to do this. And then Hanavat puts the baby in Rut's hands. Oh my God, I was a mess.
It was so, the fact that it was watched from a distance, I was like, this is so tense. Like, are they going to be like, it's new baby, you can't hold new baby? Because some people
like any responsible parent would. Don't give the newborn to the child who's about to keel over.
Yeah. And I was like, I felt like I was watching from a distance too. Until like I can't even think about the sentence and Rut walked away like a king.
I know.
I was at the gym on the treadmill reading it and I was like, fine. And then I had to like put my feet on the sides and be like, keep it together, Bachynski. Like you're in public. That I was seen from a distance. And then how powerful that one sentence was to like pull you all the way into it was.
Yeah. Is the power of words, the power of word selection.
Yeah.
Like a king. Does so much work. It does so much. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
Fiddler is walking alone at the front of the pack. He's certain he's marching to his death. It's all coming to an end. And sure enough, death shows up. New death. Same as the old death. Whiskey Jack, Iskar Jarak himself, and the other bridge burners, Mallet and Trotz, are like, hey, bro, what's up? He's like, well, we're Quick Ben and Kalam. And they're like, we're not telling.
I also love that he's like walking and he's like, all right, this is it. My then they show up and he's like, my brother's here to see me at the gates. And they're like, what? Do you think you're so special that you think we're so special that we would send Hedge to you to like just say what's up and be bros? Do you think that's why we sent him back, was so that you could make up? You're not that special. We don't care that much. He's like, but get
over yourself, man.
We've been doing these righteous things, and Fiddler's kind of like feeling like his feelings. And they're like, what? We were mutinous and horrible at like the best of times. All of our captains would resign before they even got there because we were such menaces. We're not like good people.
Yeah.
We're just guys, and so are you. Get over it. Figure it out. We're here to tell you to get it together. Anyway, put it up. And then they peace out. And he's like, okay.
Incredible.
I guess I gotta find Hedge. The reminder
Incredible. You think we went through all this? We put all these pieces together just for you guys to die out here? Come on. Amazing. And also they're like, why do you think you're called the Bone Hunters? He's like, because we found all those bones
And they're like, and
underneath
whose
the town.
bones? Whose
There's all those bones we found. He's like, idiot. No, those are bones of the fallen. Who has fallen farthest? Think about it. Bye.
Yeah. What did you make of that?
Obviously there's something else to be revealed about the Bone Hunters, right? That it's the bones of the crippled God, right? He's the fallen one, the one that's fallen the farthest, right? Mm-hmm. I think we still don't know exactly what that is, but something about it. Tavor knew something, right?
Yes.
So then we go to Lestara Yill's POV. She's like, man, it would be great to be possessed by Cotillion again. That would be nice. Because then I could do whatever I wanted. I'd have so much power. It'd be so sweet.
I could do a cool dance and everybody would love me.
Yeah. And she's like, oh man, Fiddler's amazing. He's about to die and he still walks in a straight line. That's impressive.
Yeah, the rest of the army behind him swaying. He
stops, turns around, and they're like, this is it. We're all going to die right here. Everybody kind of gathers together. Tavor, Lestara, Henar, all the fists, Ruth and Good, Scanero, Kindly, Blistig. They all stare at Tavor. And we're in Lestara's POV. The Talana come up. Blistig is like, oh, you want those Talana to be your bodyguards? Guess what? They can't stop us. We're going to get you. We're going to kill you. Anyway, all of us. Right, guys? Right, guys? Anybody?
And I love that they're like,
yeah.
Like it's described earlier as somebody trying to spit on somebody, but it's just the noise of them spitting.
That's right.
They don't have any moisture.
There's no saliva. Yeah. And he's like, how? Why does she command such loyalty among all of you? And inside Lestara's head, she's like, do something, please. Give us something. Do something. Like, confirm our loyalty in some way, please.
Say anything. Do anything.
Right. And she's like, hey, Banishar, could you go ask Lestara for her kit bag, please? And he's like, okay. And she pulls it out and she's like, give me the dagger that.
Did you remember this thing? Did you?
As soon as it came out, I remembered.
I know. I remember that scene being like, they had these scenes, these conversations before they left that I feel like at any point in time would be like, weren't they buddies with this guy?
Yeah. As soon as it came out, I was like, oh, right. The dagger that Bug gave her, that Male gave her.
Yo.
Yeah. Incredible. And she says, Banishar says, it needs blood. And Tavor says, haven't you drunk enough? Layers of meaning there.
I was kind of surprised by that. Because like there's so many layers of meaning, but her, other than Blistig, it felt kind of hostile for her to look at them and say that.
Yes.
They have everybody other than Blistig being a jerkwad. Have been following her, have been willing to make this sacrifice, and her looking at everybody and saying that with like this, it felt like in my head, it was like a lace of like resentment for them that she was doing this. Well, that I was kind of like, is that the response that all those people deserved? Or is it just a reminder, like as she's opening herself up to provide for them, being like, yeah, there's going to be an abundance here, but like keep that in mind. Like, what was your read on why she would say that to the mass of people that were willing?
It is an enigmatic phrase. I mean, I think saying it to Banishar and his drunkenness, saying it to like, I still have to give my blood even now. After all of us have shed, I have like everything we've sacrificed. This dagger, in order to work, still needs my blood.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Even like the idea of like specifically it needs blood and drinking enough blood. Like there's so many people that they've killed. There's so much death that has happened from this group of people.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're right. It is very hostile in that moment. Also, the moment before that, I shouldn't have skipped over, which is her like assessing how dire things are, where she's like, how much farther till we get to the play? 10 days. 10 days. And Ballistic's like, 10 days? 10 days? We won't survive 1 day. We're dead.
And she's trying to assess, okay, that would be to the town. What about to like the coast? Like trying to suss it out. Yeah, that is a good thing to bring up too.
Incredible. And then we cut away. Another freaking brilliant flourish where we cut to Fiddler's POV and he refuses to watch. Turns away, hides his eyes as she cuts her hand, but he feels it. He hears this music in his head. The fiddler hears music as she cuts her hand. And then she stabs the bloody knife into the ground. Water shoots up. Not just enough for them to drink, but like too much, where it's like flooding, where they have to seek higher ground. It's like there's this air of menace, even in this salvation, even in this moment of, oh my God, we got exactly what we want. But even that has
a consequence. And
that's right.
Not idea like this. Okay. Soliciting this help from this god by using this dagger. Is the help coming in a way that we expected? Is there an ocean in this thing?
Yeah.
Like how much are we getting here? And people dropping to their knees and just, gulping the water, some of which that is going to kill them right off the bat. Like Lustera realizing that some people are going to drink so much water instantaneously that they die anyway. Like there's salvation and there's still this edge of danger and distress. Yeah.
I know we're super long and you have to go to work, but what did you make of that moment? There's part of me that was like, we could have just done this the whole time, but I felt like they had reached I felt like there was verbiage in there that indicated that they had reached this particular place in the desert that used to be an ocean and that allowed it to happen here. And also she had sort of planned, we need to get this far because we have this much farther to go. And so now is the point where we can do this.
My impression of it was like, if you think about it, when they set out before they got to the desert, they had all their full casks. They had all those things filled and they still went through them and they drained them and they almost died. So I think that it was like, I don't know how far this ocean's going to spread. Is it going to follow them the rest of the way there? I don't think so. I think they got to fill their casks and then go. So they have to get far enough through to be able to make the second leg, was my impression.
Because part of me was like, could we have just used the knife when everybody started keeling over?
I know. Good. What's the whole army? Got a little sip of water. What if there was enough people who had died that they could have just had the horses and kept running back and forth between the ocean you created?
Yeah.
And the horses would be fine.
I mean, it's an amazing sequence, though. Amazing sequence. Awesome. All right. Well, we may not have enough time to do all of our quotes.
We did. I told them I'd just be a little bit late, and that's totally fine.
You're so kind.
I like this book.
All right. So I think I have 3. I think you have 3, right?
I believe that I do. I've got 4, I think, technically.
All right.
But
start.
They're okay. Sometimes I highlight them and then I'm like, do I really like this one? Is this one really my favorite or did I like it at the time? This one is withal heading out into the battle. Withal collected the mace, straightened, brought the shield round to guard his left side and lurched into motion. Someone else had wrested control of his body, his legs now carrying him down to the strand, his eyes searching for a path through the pale, motionless bodies. The hand holding his weapon and the forearm bearing the weight of the shields. They no longer belonged to him, no longer answered to his will. You do not willingly walk into a battle like this. How can you? No, some other force takes you there, moves you like a pawn, a puppet. And you watch yourself going ever forward, and you are baffled, disbelieving. And all that fear, it's hollowed out. Just an empty place now. And the roar outside is lost to the roar inside, your own blood, your breaths. And now your mouth is parched and you would kill your own mother for a drink of water. But of course you won't, because that would be wrong. And that thought makes you want to laugh. But if you do, you know that you will lose it. You know that if the laughter starts, it won't stop. Was this how it was in my first battle? Was this way I could remember so little, only frozen moments, those moments that reach up and take you by the throat, that make you see all that you don't want to see. Remember all that you pray to forget. Is this how it was?
It's good.
I liked the mirror of him walking into that battle and still likening it to wanting a drink.
Yeah.
So badly. It just felt like it's bringing these two really disparate places together.
Totally. Love that. This is Coric. There's a secret few would guess. In a house of horrors, the love for children is as close to sacred as a mortal can get. Too precious to mock, because every whore remembers the child she once was. Maybe they were sad memories, maybe they were bittersweet, but it was all before the last thing was given away. So they know it's innocence that is sacred, nothing else. In holy days, priests used to incite mobs to stone whores. No one would go out. He remembered all the women hiding in their rooms, speaking only in whispers lest some sound escape past the shutters or out under the door. And he used to cower with them, terrified. And on those days, he came to learn a hatred for priests, for temples, for all those hunters of the unworthy. So, crippled God, fallen one, if I could kill you with my bare hands, I would. If I could kill every priest and every god and all those others stalking the streets with stones in their hands, I would, for the whores and all you took from them, and for the children. That is, oof.
I feel like, go ahead, Sid.
Certainly echoes to our world of some things that have been hypocrisies and atrocities that I won't name particularly, but I think we all know.
Yeah. I feel like we're going to be doubling up here, so I want to check with you. I've got
Go
a
ahead.
bottle and I've got a Smiles.
I have a bottle. I don't think it was the Smiles. I have something else, but you can do the bottle. Do the bottle.
What we're doubling up. I'll do the Smiles.
Okay.
They were lowborn. The whole family, her husband and the father of the twins was gone, maybe dead. It was all down to her. One child to be blessed, the other cursed. Yet arguments could be made as to who was which. She knew all about that. A night of bitter winds, of fires doused by spray, and Smiles would set out, knives in hand. And she would kill every one of those elders, in all their hunger, in all their needs, now that they were too old to fish, now that the only authority they still possessed came with their threats and warnings about angry, vengeful spirits. She would show them a vengeful, angry spirit, and the gifts it would make to the hungry sea would appease 1,000 spirits of the deep. Those kinds of dreams were honey on the tongue, heady with the juices of pleasure and satisfaction. She suspected such dreams hid in the hearts of everyone. Desires for justice, for redress, for a settling of the scales. And of course, that sour undercurrent of knowledge, that none of it was possible, that so much would rise in opposition, in self-preservation even, to crush that dream, its frail bones, its pattering heart. Even that could not take away the sweet delight, the precious hope. Wells for the coin, league stones for the wreaths, barrows for the widdershins' dance. The world was filled with magical places awaiting wishes. And empires raised lotteries, opened games, sought to lift high heroes among the common folk. And everyone rushes up with their dreams, but stop. Look back. Gods, look around. If all we seek is an escape, what does it say about the world that we live in? That village, that city, that life? We are desperate with our dreams. What, oh, what does that say?
That was the first sequence, by the way, when I read it, that I realized Widdershins is a word. I was like, that character Widdershins that's a word? I didn't know that word.
Everybody's got a name that means something, and he's Widdershins.
Well, not everybody. Some people are not. I don't know. But yes, Widdershins. Did you know that was a word? It's a cool word. It means unlucky. Cool. This is a bottle. His grandmother was now hobbling beside him. She didn't belong on this trail in this desert, but there she was. And maybe she wasn't his grandmother at all, just some other wax witch twisting reeds in her arthritic hands, making dolls for the children in the village, gifts, charms. I remember you giving them away. Toys, you said. Head bobbing. Free toys. And they all ran up to you laughing. But you wove protections into those dolls. Blessings. Wards against illness. Nothing powerful. Nothing to stop, say, a flash flood or an avalanche. But the father that lashed out with his fists, the uncle who slipped under the blankets in the dead of night, those ones paid for what they did. And the cuts that healed, the fevers that went away. So, grandmother, I'll walk this last walk in your memory. Make me a doll for this pain, and take this child by the hand and tell him again how they will pay for what they did. What a cool thing, the grandmother who has magic, just giving little toys to kids to protect them. Like, oh, if only we could do that in real life, right? If only we could do that. Powerful stuff, man.
Well read.
Thank you.
The last one that I have was Tars. I pulled part of it, but I'm just going to read the whole thing because it's pretty short overall. Yeah. He had been born stubborn, or so everyone said. Maybe it had made for problems in his life, but Tar wasn't one to dwell on them. Here, this night, stubbornness was all he had left. Sergeant to a squad of Marines, he'd never thought he'd make it this far. Not with Fiddler there, taking care of everything that needed taking care of, but now Fid wasn't running this squad anymore. Now it's mine. I'm the one who gets to walk it into the ground. I'm the one who gets to watch them die like flies on the sill. He planned on being the last to go down. He had his stubbornness, after all, his way of pushing and pushing until he pushed through. He remembered the day they formed up officially in Aran. The chaos, the guarded looks, all the bitching that went on, unruly, unhappy, close to falling apart. Then a few veterans stepped up. Fiddler, Cuddle, Gessler, Stormy, and did what was needed. And that's when I knew that I was going to stick with this. Be a soldier. I had them to follow, and that was good enough. It still is. It has to be. Fiddler's up ahead somewhere. Cuddle's right behind me. Only ever had the adjunct as a commander, and she's kept me alive this long. She wants another march, she'll get it. No questions, no complaining. He twisted around, glared at his squad. First one falls, I will personally curse to the 13 gates of the abyss. Am I understood? Calls for a drink, said Cuddle. The others laughed. Wasn't much of a laugh, but for Tar, it was good enough. They'll make it through this night. Past that, I won't ask them for a damn thing. Unless I need to.
Unless I need to. Ugh. Love that.
I love that. Love that. Just a little bit of sweetness. One tiny lift of levity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Here's my last one. Nostalgia was like a disease. One that crept in and stole the color from the world and the time you lived in. Made for bitter people, dangerous people, when they wanted back what never was. And it wasn't even our innocence back then. We never felt innocence. They spent day after day living older than their years, after all. And no, not even the ties of family blood, those so familiar faces he grew up alongside, and all the safety and protection and comfort they offered. No, those games stayed with him because of something else, something he now understood to have been with him undying since those days. I love that.
When I read that, I was like, this is going to be Jeff's favorite quote.
That's good.
Yeah. What?
Book good.
Book good. Couple amazing chaps.
I should have said at the start of the show that we will not have an episode next week. It is Thanksgiving here in the United States. So Lana and I will be with our families. Lana's going to be eating a fried turkey.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
You want to hear about my Thanksgiving plans? Get in that Patreon. Don't usually plug it, but it was a fun episode.
Patreon.com/DLC pod. Yeah, so no episode next week. We will miss you, but hopefully you guys can dance in our stead.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be back the following week with more of this novel. Thanks for being with us. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving if you celebrate, and keep dancing.
When the world's too dark of a place to be, and you need an escape from reality, open up those pages, it's sci-fi or fantasy, whatever genre you please. And join a book club, cause you won't read it on your own. Join a book club, so you'll be held accountable. It's just a means to an end, but you're doing it with your friends, so join the book club.